Oh, what's up, guys?
Synergy, but now with this extra bit of a shift, heading even further down south, just solidifying the positions up into Sosnovka. I think that western bridge, that's Tunnel of Doom.
Oh, yeah, no, that's going to be the Valley of Doom. But again, it's coming down to those bridge camps. I'm not seeing a team setting anything up. They're all just in contention on the rotation. I mean, a few teams having to from Stolba. I'm thinking about Friend Killers. They're now reduced to, I think it might be.
Oh, shit.
Be one, maybe two. Taking a look at the HUD, it looks like it's still two for the time being, and that's due to their rotation. They were behind the likes of Mizexis, and it's been a tough ride for them. Now, those bridges are in play. Ladies and gentlemen, we know it is no longer the main island. It is 100% confirmed. You need to move on now to the military base island. Where are those bridge camps? Exo Zone still fighting on out here, trying to find a little bit of success. Picking up some eliminations would be huge for them, but they are running as a duo.
Yeah, they are running as a duo, but they need to get running as well, right? Because that blue zone is not going to wait for anybody, but it is going to be Exo Zone now feeling that pressure as Blinky gets taken on out. And it now turns to Top Boy. Ooh, now tries to turn and run, but unfortunately the shots are connecting on through. It's going to be a full send. As you can see the chase coming in here. The Extreme Slayers, they are eager, they are hungry, they want those points, and Top Boy's going to be on the top of their list as they get absolutely decimated and sent on packing.
Extreme Slayers were one of those teams during the group stages, during the qualifiers. They brought out the consistency. They were one of the teams to really step it up in one of those games. I think they brought in like it was a ridiculous amount of eliminations, wasn't it? It was something like 20 eliminations plus the winner chicken dinner. And it set all of us back like, okay, whoa, who is this team? Where did they come from? Where are they going now? But then they fell a little bit off. So I'm hoping that this is a good start for Extreme and that they're going to hold on to it. Because if they can be consistent like the way they are now, they might be looking at that cash prize.
Oh yes, they could definitely be looking at that cash prize. But of course, speaking about the cash prize, right? We need to address the elephant in the room. There's still so many teams hanging on to that main island. They've not yet taken the plunge to get themselves situated down south. But speaking of that, Mizexis, inactive, going to be trying to get overactive here. Just trying to swing away at 3 hits there. See, are they going to get Fears? No! Instead, it is going to be Fears picking up inactive. And now it's that is, well, especially Mizexis inactive, envisioning their name, showing us exactly what it means at this point. Up comes Dreams and the rest of the Mizexis team. This is where things get a little bit tricky, right? Because we've got the old gangsters also held up just towards the western side of that bridge.
And for Mizexis, they've had such a long rotation. We mentioned them in Friend Killers early on, moving in from Stolba. So for them to now run into contention, still just short of making it into the zone, it would be quite a stopgap for them, quite a bit of a traffic jam for them to actually get themselves into zone. We can see a bit of a disengagement here from Team Aces, but here back to that opportunity here. Clips by Chicks, one of the teams to finally set up a bridge camp, and they will do so towards the eastern bridge, but they themselves are not in the zone. And like you said, all gangsters just around the corner from getting involved.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a risky camp, but who knows, right? It could potentially work out in their favor. It is also still only that second phase, right? So the blue zone not going to be too detrimental. Not yet. It could, of course, change momentarily as we progress into those later phases, but I don't really see it playing out that long. But once they clear out this bridge, the pathway down into that military island, it's going to be rather smooth sailing, right? Because we see quite a bit of a vacancy available to move on in.
It might be an opportunity. Clips by Chicks, they are making that rotation on even deeper into that eastern bridge. Obviously prioritizing the zone right now, because we know if you let that timing go, if you let that opportunity slip, it could be the end of you. Mizexis now trying to close the gap as well. Old gangsters, they applied that pressure, but now they need to disengage. They need to focus on a rotation, and they will actually be forced into the main island. They'll actually be forced in towards farm. So away from that bridge, getting a few meds now, getting themselves stopped on up. I'm wondering if they're going to be able to take that rotation, maybe avoid the bridge, taking a swim across, or even heading towards that western bridge. We'll have to wait to see what their strategy is going to be like.
Yeah, I do think taking a bit of a swim at this point in time could still work, right? They could make it across in one piece because we don't see anybody else holding onto that northern shoreline. So that option definitely is available, but there's a lot of congestion towards that western side, and now it is going to be Clips by Chicks holding onto the eastern bridge. Now, this is the kind of bridge camp that we want to see, right? Them rather moving into the safe area and then turning their attention to the bridge itself.
Ooh, I was going to talk about the Western Bridge, but we can talk about that Western Zone now from that little bit of a shift. Over to the western part of Sosnovka, we've got a few teams that are holding in a lovely opportunity down towards the southern point, down to, well, up towards the northern point as well, very split up. A few rotations now. Team Ace is going to be one of the first teams to make that dash into zone from their current position as well. While the rest that have just set up these lovely bridge camps will now find out it's a little bit too late because now the rotations need to come on in.
But I'm curious to see what Excuse are going to be doing is, because we saw them in the qualifiers or the semifinals, right?
Yeah.
Putting up quite a formidable performance, and now they do have that zone really close to them, so they could actually leverage it in their favor, looking to apply, you know, some form of... But I'm curious to see what Excuse are going to be doing is, because we saw them in the qualifiers or the semifinals, right? Pressure, no excuse.
Hello.
GR 13 teams we go.
Again, I blinked, and now we've lost another 2 teams. What is happening? Extreme Slayers. I need a blink, man. Come on. You can't be taking blinking away from you like this. Come on. Extreme Slayers with 5 eliminations. They've already looked and, well, at least tried to keep to their namesake, but I'm needing a little bit more eliminations before I can call it a little bit extreme here. Moving in from that northwestern side, at least into the zone, they're going to have a lot of contention. I've already seen the likes of Level X moving on up, trying to hold down the line as they were waiting for those rotations. And that could be quite a tough fight, especially if they get this high ground. But for now, the rotation is still in progress. The Panthers are up ahead, both esports finding Clips by before Chicks.
Yeah.
Chicken
I mean, that is a little bit of a tough entrance.
Watch party.
And now we do see Mizex is following suit, right? Coming in right behind Eclipse.
level X
position, as they've now started to move up.
level X की PM से खेलते?
They are not going to be stopped in their rotation.
Nah.
At least not just yet. Now the
Invited.
Panthers
Level X invited.
opportunity, right? They've got that zone just up ahead of them. Still
Level X
Score final invited.
How they are going to leverage that
मुझे
position before
PMC
getting
invite
themselves
मिलना
positioned back into this next phase.
जाने
But it's going to be tough, right? Even looking at the Golden Eagles, they've also already come in with a 2-piece. So you want to talk about
GR dead.
exactly what they have to work with.
And I mean, what's crucial for the Golden Eagles is they would have been up in terms of the best positioning into this next phase. Almost
Flashgod to ki watch party karo, watch party.
Zone alongside the friend killers. But again, like you said, no numbers to work with. It's Extreme Slayers, it's Level X Esports, and the Panthers that have all of their numbers still available, and they are trying to still push into that zone, getting a good grip on the next phase. But it is tough. Good with 4 tricks and with that rotation, they picked up those 5 eliminations from that bridge camping, which is going to give them a nice steady foundation of points. But I don't see how far Alucard can actually take this on. Friend Killer's a little bit contention for their real estate.
J4FA pull up and the Panthers
আমাদের boss
হ্যাঁ বলো
6 less আবার ব্যাক করছে execute
from nuclear power. We actually haven't seen much from
তাতে
in this
কি
match now
হয়েছে?
to send on their merry way is of course the Golden Boys.
রেফারি তো আমাদেরই বাকি দিবে
But I mean, at this point, I think the Attic is serving them quite
extreme
well.
নাকি
But then again, so many teams hanging around in the vicinity, they're going to have a pretty tough time if the zone moves up and, you know, becomes a little bit less favorable for them. But now, looking towards the east, it is of course the players there from Level X trying to sneak away forward. We can see that spray now heading in the direction of Boat, and that is Clips by Chicks. Also now, down for the count.
আরে সৌদি ভাগ্যে
Five
দিচ্ছে
eliminations, as we mentioned, so they will add points to their tally.
ভাগ্যে
ভাগ্যে
দিচ্ছে সৌদির এরকম পার্ট নিতেছে
It's not the worst, it's not the
সৌদি
best.
এখন আর
At
ই
least there will
ভাই
be
তুমি
points added
ই
on
দেখো
up. The Panthers now making
এই যে
their
এটা কি
dash
বলে
in, like
বুঝছো
you said.
J4FA
Short
ফুল
দিয়ে,
টিম
পুরো
রে
short
Such
দিয়ে।
good numbers, but they need
the
Pulo
to
short
be
দিয়ে,
in a
boy,
better
sponsor
position
করছে
if they want to hold on
কোয়ান
Nate.
জুকো
Just narrowly escaping
এটা
the
কোন টিম
explosive death that would have grenade would have brought them, but they will
কোন
get a
টিম
good
এটা
এটা
amount of
J4
information. Look at this line of sight onto
J4
Extreme Slayers could be it.
আর টিভি কি হইছে
Yeah, it is gonna
City,
be
yeah, I guess so.
Venom trying so
bad.
hard. Snow just hugging the edge of that tree.
পাপি কোন টিমে
See
ঢুকছে
if they can maybe just survive the onslaught a little while longer, hoping that something happens to the Panthers so they can get that reset and hit themselves repositioned. But now, instead, it is going to be Lala venturing right up close and personal. Not going to be waiting to see what the Panthers are going to be doing. Instead, they move right up to their doorstep, come knocking on the door.
কি স্ট্রিম
But
আছে
there's going to
নাকি
be no trick or treat at this point.
No.
Instead, teams have to focus on that
Focus,
positioning, right?
yes,
So
yes.
the
Team
blue
থাকে
zone
তাহলে
is going to
খেলা
start
হবে,
moving
team
within
না
the next few seconds. So time is definitely
What?
starting to run out here.
Golden boys
Beowulf?
holding strong, trying to stay alive.
Huh?
You know, we were talking about starting as a 3-piece. Nah, the Golden Boys are like, that's too much. We're just gonna start it out as a 2-piece, man. No one can beat us. Come on.
Yeah, and of course, oh, that is the Panthers. Oh, right back towards that lovely lobby, and now 7 teams remain. 17 players alive for the time
Golden
being.
Beowulf क्या
We
हुआ?
still have quite a plethora of players strewn all across the battlefield here. We've got Bope, we've got Dope.
That need.
Yeah. Ooh, one coming in. Level X getting hit. Not being able to find Trip yet, but up
I
comes
don't
the blue zone. It might do the deed for them, but it's now going to be quite a bit of pressure here on Trip, trying to see if they can maybe pick up some semblance of elimination. They've already found 4 in total, but there we go. The hit comes through, and that is Bope down.
Oh, Extreme Slayers just snatching it out at the last possible second. That's going to give Level X actually some time to recover their losses. Maybe they can reset, but never mind. They're just down. It is brutal out here. Extreme Slayers going to continue on to the 2-piece here of Golden as they're trying to hold the line, reduced down to only 1. In the attic they go, trying to hold on, but Robert GG says no thank you. I am breaching the door. The backup is not
একা ফুস
there.
দিয়া মইরা
Extreme Slayers
শেষ
are letting this one slip. Come on, where is
কি
the follow-up?
অবস্থা
Lala trying to close the gap, and there we go. We'll clutch it out.
Yeah, that was almost a big letdown coming through right there, but the Extreme Slayers managing to hold on, now sitting on 11 eliminations to their name. 3 players up still, and that is the team with the highest numbers, so no pressure on them coming through into this final bit of
That's
defensive play for the
Argentina.
Care Bears.
কি
Now getting
করলো
bombarded. Is that Nate gonna
ভালো
reach
লাগলো
or
বুঝছিস
get scary
এখন
close?
পোল্যান্ডের লগে
No,
জিততে হবে
knows
নাহলে পোল্যান্ডের লগে
exactly
হারলেই
where to
শেষ
try and send the
আর্জেন্টিনা
next one. But that's not
Arre,
it.
Jibbo,
Let's see,
Jibbo.
could they maybe
Jibbo,
find the
Jibbo.
spot on a next attempt? But again, the Care Bears, right, just playing this
चलो
ball
मेसी
and
की
like
दूर
what
आ
they're
रही
doing in
भाई
this position.
केमने दूर है
What I like even better is Extreme Slayers. They have the better numbers, they have the better positioning, they have the zone, and well, it
Messi,
looks like
bhai,
they just have all of the
greatest player of all
opportunities
time,
right
bhai.
now, DK. They can look at a 360 view
Kato
of
to, like,
this
what Dorani
final
don't
zone
speed
and
us.
pretty much
ওর
take a hit on
ডিফেন্সের সামনে
everyone
আবার
and
বল
everyone.
পাইলেই
They're gonna be able
ডেঞ্জারাস
to
সব
farm
টিমের আটবিট
eliminations
কেঁপে
like
উঠে
it's
ভাই
no one's
যে
business.
টিমই হোক
Yeah, they've got coverage in all the
বিশ্বের যত
positions
বড়
right now at
ডিফেন্ডার
this
হোক
point in
মেসির
time.
পায়ে যখন
Now,
ডিফেন্ড ইয়ের সামনে
let's
বল
see
যাবে
whether or not
এটা কি
Yayuya
নেট
ডি বক্সের
করে
সামনে
Hayuya is going to be able to
You
get
know,
that
it's
reach
একদম
or
পুরা
Reed
করলে ভালো হতো
just so close to getting hit. But fortunately for Reed, that Nate doesn't really find the place. Oh, that one came scary close, but that buggy saving their life. Now, it is still quite a bit of a fight that needs to happen. It's going to be Ultra getting wiped off, and now warning, just absolutely hitting those shots. But still, right, that zone, not going to be easy on anybody at this point.
Oh, the split nade just doing
No,
a
he
little
was
bit of
just
damage
shut
here to Care Bears, but we still got 3 teams technically up, and Adam trying to fight it out here
Phone
for the
charge
final
laga
position.
isi.
Extreme Slayer still holding the better position, but that zone centering up is going to force pretty much everyone to make an adjustment.
But the friend killers, they're still here. They still holding strong. We can
আরে আমি কোন পেলাম
हमने मैच प्रैक्टिस पे लग बस कर
ওড়াতে আস হ্যালো হ্যালো
Yo,
ইউটিউবার
what's up?
এক্সচেঞ্জেস ভিডিওতে আসো
Naito.
আছে
Oh, okay. Okay.
see them just chilling on that southern edge.
that's it.
Now Reed.
Really, Baba.
Oh, no, not yet. It gets close, but that is going to be Lala trying to get the confirmation, and Naive comes through with a beautiful hit on
big shout out
towards
to
them.
that kid.
And this could be that turning point for the Care Bears, potentially now
bhai.
trying to close the gap on the Extreme Slayers.
But they have to push now, they can't.
দাঁড়াও
I'm watching Team Speak of the Mist. Intense end zone fight and screams.
Give Extreme Slayers
iPhone
a
11, PUBG
Extreme
Mobile.
Slayers now trying to take the
Very
lead
nice.
out in-
Bluezone is going to move on in. Friend Killers have an opportunity now. Get that care
Like
package,
this,
get
like
that
this.
close up, maybe even get that winner chicken dinner.
Oh, it's gonna come down to the wire. Coming in. But wow, 5
अरे GR की
eliminations.
call.
What a way.
यार
Feel that chicken.
এটা 3 man chicken নিয়ে দিয়েছে
Friend Killers, they made such a tough
Yeah.
decision, and even a tougher situation worked in their favor. It came down to their final decisions. They stayed quiet, they
Yeah,
waited
কত
for the
জন হচ্ছে?
opportunity, and they capitalized. But
16.
I am gonna
What
give a
the
shout out
heck?
to
এগুলা কি
কি
ব্রো ইয়া দেখো
Extreme
কাস্টার গুলা
Slayers,
দেখো
just in the final
Cheater,
moments,
cheater.
making sure that they're going to take whatever eliminations they could away from Friend Killers, letting themselves die out to the play zone.
16,
means they
bro.
will deny
Nigga,
at
ass.
the very least, I think,
Caster
one,
গুলা
maybe
দেখো
even
না।
2 eliminations or 2 points away.
How go you
from-
Oh my.
It could have been a lot better for them, but,
What the
Extreme
fuck?
Slayers just at the end. A little
What
bit
the
of
fuck is this?
Yeah, a lot of bit of cheek.
Oh, what is this?
Just a little
Ayo,
bit of
bhaiya,
cheek. A
room
lot of bit of
killing.
cheek.
Bye, right,
From
bye.
The Friend Killers. Only starting off with the 3-piece as we saw, but you know,
Get those, bro,
5 eliminations.
কেমন আছেন আপনি মুড়ি ভাই মুড়ি ভাই আপনি দিনকার ভালো যাচ্ছে
very much
It's looking pretty
তাই নাকি?
dang good there for them.
স্কুলকে ভাঙ
And
মারো
of course, so pretty
Yo,
amazing run.
আমি
Well
তো।
done with those 5 elims, but 596.
Muy Ronaldo fan,
damage
man. Get
being
this nigga
done.
out of here.
It's amazing.
You see, this
চাবাই
is
কেমনে
what
কে
I would
চাবাইতাছে
call
গরুর
extreme,
মতন
right? Extreme
that
Slayers
kid,
picking
that
up
kid.
14 eliminations with
Bye,
a
অনেক মজা হয়, বাদাম
fantastic
খাইতেছি।
second place
Pistachio।
finish.
বাদাম তো ভালো করে চাবা মানে গরুর মতো হয় ঘাস খেতে
That is
চাবাই
going to
না
be it for me. That is going
Oh,
to be a
damn,
very
Nikhil.
good showing coming through from the Extreme
He's
Slayers. And
monkey, bro.
again, we saw that on one of the previous weeks.
আরে
Just remember
শোনা
that
আজো
semi-final,
আজো
they
রুম
started off
খেলে
that
রুম
first
খেলি
wrangle just
Asho, guys.
absolutely hitting the highest of highs. But then we need to see that come
কি
through.
war
And
fight
then
করবে,
it's
room খেলবা?
Mizex's
What is
as
this?
well. Similar rotation that they had to make,
Hello?
like we saw
Hey.
with Friend Killers.
Yeah.
Look
20
at
kill
the
chicken,
start
20 kill
of it.
chicken.
So that is all to
Ulta
do with
dige
those
chicken
final
is.
decision rotations.
20 kills again. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a pretty tough.
এ
play
বলটা
coming
সি
through from
খেলবো
Mizek, but they
নাকি
spent
বিজয়
quite
বাবা
a bit
দিয়ে
of time
যেতেছে
out in that blue zone. So I think had they maybe secured themselves
আজকে কি
in
বলটা
the zone
সেটা
a little
চলে
bit
যাবে?
earlier,
Right, no,
things could have
right
maybe
10টার
taken a
সময়,
bit of
কি
a
কয়?
swing for them, right? But even though all that has happened, they were still able to pick up those much needed eliminations. So now we are going to be looking at that beautiful breakdown.
Wait, Voltex is বাংলা যাইতেছে নাকি?
I mean, 14 eliminations. The Extreme Slayers. They just
চারটা
did a
মাত্র
really good
team,
job.
কি হইবো?
Unfortunately, that blue zone really didn't allow them to take home that winner with a chicken dinner.
No opportunity really there, but at the very least, they are
Mamun bhai.
rolling it in with those elimination points. We can see a nice
Uncle
distribution in
Agassen.
terms of just the
Kemun
overall
achen?
eliminations. We have a few teams right at the end that didn't quite make it. Didn't quite
Finally
make it,
conqueror.
but they still have an
কয়দিন ঘুমান নাই
opportunity when they
মেমন
come
ভাই
back on Miramar. But look at the Care Bears. The amount of damage they brought in just for those three
Mamun bhai, কয়দিন
eliminations.
ঘুমান
I
নাই?
would love to see the potential knocks.
Mamun
they were
bhai.
getting, and then just the steals that were coming in after in after in.